Hey guys, welcome to the Big Blue United podcast. My name is TJ. I'm here, Dan and Colin as usual, and we are back after a couple week hiatus. I don't remember how many weeks it was, but we're in the dredges of what is a boring offseason at this point. So, I mean, how you guys doing, and what do you want to talk about tonight, I guess, is the question.
How am I doing? I'm doing okay. How's Dan doing?
I'm doing good. I'm enjoying my new garments. Maybe we should give that a shout out.
Oh, yeah.
Do you notice this garment I'm wearing? Can you see this fabric? Fabrique.
Is that corduroy?
Oh, that's a cord. Yeah.
Nice.
That's a cord jacket, baby.
I like the cord. I'm back I know we're all 90s again, but I'm really digging into it.
Yeah, man, I'm interested in this 90s fashion. Like at work, I've hired a couple of 20-year-old, hostesses to work for me. And the one girl had the whale tail. And I got to tell you, I never thought I would see that again.
Yep, it's coming back.
I don't.
If you don't know, you don't know.
Explain the whale tail to us,
know.
Dan, if you could. Could you explain it though?
I can explain it, but I sort of want to gatekeep on these Zoomers that might not know what it is, as they would say.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's just like when a girl was a thong and then has the straps above her pants waist.
Yes.
Which back in our day was the thing.
Because
but it was trashy. But now apparently it's like in this sort of
it was
thing.
ubiquitous because girls wore low-rise jeans and thongs pretty much no matter what, circa 2000 to 2000.
Well, Cisco, you think Cisco for that?
Yeah.
He was the first one who made that popular.
He was the first one to wear them too.
That's not true, Colin. That's not true. We saw. I was over at Colin's house during the NFL draft, and we went to the draft, and then for round 2 and 3, we went back to Colin's house, hung out.
You went to Giant Stadium for the draft. You didn't go to
MetLife Stadium, or whatever you want to call it.
Giant Stadium. We'll call it that.
Yeah. And then Colin and I watched this P. Diddy documentary about a Bad Boy reunion concert, and it was sort of like a masturbatory performance by P. Diddy about his whole brand. And I think Cisco was in there, and he explained the thong song a little bit about it. And just if you guys want to hear somebody really get up in their own ass, I highly recommend that.
Like a thong.
Yeah, good music. Oh, hey there, Colin, doing it. Get over the people.
I mean, we saw it. We were like, we want to watch something. We were just so footballed out at that point. That was Saturday night, right? That was after the draft was completely done. And we had
Sunday, man.
Yeah. So we just were like, all right, let's just go through Netflix and just find.
Let's just watch some Cisco stuff.
Well, I saw Diddy's face and I was just like, we're obviously watching this.
Yeah.
That has to be what we're doing.
My favorite part, he goes in to see the background band and they're just playing the song. He's like, he says to the drummer, he's like, you need more creative fills. I'm going to give you till tonight to make more creative fills. And they comes back later in the night and they're playing the song again. He's like, this doesn't sound anything like the record. This isn't going to work. You're all fired.
Perfect.
You're a big idiot. You're basically saying the opposite things. You stupid man. You.
Yeah, I don't know. But let's hop into it, guys. As usual, guys, please follow Big Blue United on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can follow us, BBU Podbuzz of the Z on Twitter. Our sponsor tonight is Stitch Fix, which is an amazing personal style service for men, women, and kids that evolves your tastes, needs, and your lifestyles. The experience is not merely curated, but truly personalized to you. So basically how it works, you sign up, put together a style profile. You pay $20 for your stylist to pick, some clothes for you. You can go on before they send it to you, pick what you like and don't like. And, basically they'll send you a package with, some items in it. If you don't like them, you can send them right back in the prepaid envelope that they give you in the package. And the more you send back, the more you like it, the more feedback to give you, the better, the fit's going to be for you. And they give you style ideas on a postcard every time you get the package. So it's not only just you get these items, they'll tell you how to put them together and make a good outfit. So, I've been rocking. I'm actually on my second box, by the way. This is a good thing for Stitch Fix, because usually we get these sponsors and we're done with them. But I love Stitch Fix so much that I stay with them. I got a second package. I'm wearing this really sweet T-shirt I got here and these Mavi pants I'm wearing too. I won't stand up because I'm tired from today. But these Mavi pants I got are made of some really nice material. They're stretchy and good and fit really nice. I'm really into them. Colin, you weren't here last week. You want to tell us a little bit about your Stitch Fix package you got?
Yeah, I kept everything. I think the whole explanation section of the website of going through it, it's one of those things where you're like, all right, they're asking this question, they're asking that question, but it ends up being really personalized. I mean, I know that's what they gear it towards, but it ended up being very spot on to what I would look for, or maybe even have any new ideas that I never thought of before. I mean, every shirt that I got was awesome. A couple of button downs. The Mavi pants I also got. I don't know if it's the same color as yours. They're like a grayish green. Amazing. Funny enough, I had another pair of pants that were similar that I just threw out because, you know, the hole in the crotch situation, it got too out of control. I wore those pants to work, had to get rid of them. Not a week later, this package showed up and just directly replaced those pants. So
they're wonderful. The Mavi pants are awesome.
Oh yeah.
They're so nice. Like, I've never had like a kind of stretchy material, but it just feels right, you know?
Yeah, and I threw in, this was the nice touch here, I think was great. I added at the end, it's like they ask you for some comments of what kind of sums you up in a way that would give your stylist an idea of what to go for. And I was just basically like, I grew up a pop punk kid. There's some aspects of my style that still remain that way. And they sent me the sweetest pair of Vans I've ever seen with a really cool
love those shoes,
pattern.
man.
Yeah, they're sick. And I you know, they're great. I'm gonna wear them. I've already have worn them. They're wonderful. So I haven't gotten another box yet because I think I'm gonna like stagger it. It's gonna be like every couple of months. I get rid of an article of clothing. I'll probably hit up them and kind of see if I can put anything together.
And yeah, that's like a thing I love about Stitch Fix is that, like, if you don't want to get a box every month, you can just go right online, right into your profile, and just be like,
pause.
I'm gonna skip this month.
Yeah.
And you don't have to keep anything. And I think that's the most important part for me is, like, they can send you a package and you might not like anything. You just send it right back, give them the feedback that you want, and they'll send you something better in return. And if you don't want to do the subscription too, like, you can just order stuff which is called Stitch Fix Freestyle, where you can just order anything you like, you know, based sort of on your style profile that the people have been working on for you. So, I mean, I think it's a great service. I'm really enjoying it. You know, guys, please check out stitchfix.com. Booyah. And, you know, check it out. I mean, I think we all really like it. Yeah. One of the better sponsors we've ever had, in my opinion, I feel. Absolutely. Giants guys, what do you want to talk about? Should we just jump into like DeAndre Hopkins sort of news here?
Yeah, sure. You can lead with that. I'm paying no mind to it. He's not coming, so I don't care.
Yep. Same. I don't think it's happening. Don't think it's wise financially. Don't think we could do it financially.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just wouldn't make sense with how everything they've done leading up to this point. It just seems like it's a name that everyone recognizes, and there's nothing else to talk about. So people trying to get views and likes on Twitter keep posting like baity topics or baity pictures of him in Giants jerseys.
Yeah. It's apropos for what this kind of year or the time of year really is all about. People are running out of things to talk about. OTAs have been fairly fun to hear some news here and there. It's always good to see some, you know, touchdowns thrown, interceptions had, what have you. But, you know, it's a lot of I think this time is really big for the camaraderie building for the team itself. And unfortunately, that's not something that the fans like us get to see. And that would be something I'd pay to see. I mean, that's what we are intentionally kept away from, because that's the very intimate nature of being on a football team. But, you know, you got to be excited about something at this point, and seeing guys running around in you know, a quarter of their uniform is kind of fun. Yeah.
I mean, I think people get excited about the DeAndre Hopkins thing too, but I think like people are just so like jumping on like the Giants need a number one receiver. But like they spent a lot of their money in this offseason just like picking up, you know, a lot of talent, a lot of speed. I think we've seen like from what we heard that they want to run a Chiefs style offense through Waller and like kind of have the like big tight end and then the speed on the outside. So the Giants aren't DeAndre Hopkins away from winning the Super Bowl. So why, you know, blast your cash on a dude for 1 or 2 years who's 31 years old, his best football is behind him? It just seems like a stupid idea to me. But yeah, if you want to talk about OTAs, the only thing I want to talk about is Daniel Bellinger's biceps.
Yeah.
Jacked man.
Yeah, that's all we're talking about. I think there's probably going to be a PED test coming his way pretty soon.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
Also think worth it.
Yeah. I mean, dude, we get Waller, and he's just like, oh, all right, hitting up his trainer. I gotta get in there. I gotta, they have big plans for him regardless. It's going to be a 2 tight end kind of offense. You're going to see both of them on the field a lot.
Well, he's forcing the issue with the arms like that. And guys, I know you probably don't know, but when you have arms like that, people treat you differently. It's something I deal with all the time. when the weather gets warmer and I start wearing t-shirts, people just act differently around you. And it's, it's something I forget, but it's also nice to have.
Yeah. With the current pass catching group we have, where do you see everybody kind of lining up like a preseason? Obviously we're going in OTAs, so we don't know everything that's going to go on, but do you think they're going to run a lot of 2 tight end sets with Waller and Bellinger? I think Waller's going to be more put out wide, or where do you think the people are going to sort of land in this offense as we go forward?
I think with all the pieces that are being added, I don't know if it's going to be like a you don't know what's coming kind of thing. You might see Waller being split out as the X wide receiver, and then all of a sudden you see him in line and you see Bellinger all the way out. I think it's going to be one of those things just to screw up defenses. Whether they end up passing out of that or maybe they'll do runs out of that. I think it's going to be completely, you're just not going to know what's coming. And I think that's going to be part of the magic of trying to defend this offense. And if, the guy who holds the ball besides our new center most of the time does what he needs to do, I think it could be pretty damn exciting. I don't know.
Yeah. You got to think having Waller out there is going to open up running lanes for Eric Gray, which is what I'm envisioning. But it's hard to project really where people are going to line up when you don't know what they're going to do as far as building up their biceps the rest of the offseason. What if Jalen Hyatt comes in with guns blazing like Daniel Bellinger? Is he going to play tight end? Is he going to play running back?
I think that's going to be the magic of this offense. You're going to see John Michael
a lot
Schmidt,
of biceps
taking the ball from underneath Daniel Jones. He's going to be snapping. They're going to switch. Someone's going to be the center. Someone else is going to be the center.
The belly boys start getting biceps? What if they become belly boys with biceps? Just cut up.
You better watch out, Chiefs. Next year in the Super Bowl. That's all I know.
Oh, belly boys with biceps. Triple B.
No, but
it's the triple B threat, triple B records.
You have to admit, the Giants' offense is much more exciting now, going to this year than maybe it has been in a couple of years for you guys. You have to think so, right?
I mean,
Jalen Hyatt, come on,
yeah,
love that. A lot of speed. Paris Campbell, Jamison Crowder get signed? Was that another one? Or
yeah.
I mean, a lot of speed. What was it? Slayton was like, let the Ferraris out of the garage, man. I'm like, well,
he wants to do a shuttle run.
Maybe
basically
like
against the rest of the NFL.
Yeah.
Maybe like the 2001 Civic with a turbo in it out of the garage. But you know what I'm saying,
No, I think it's a little more than a Civic at this point. It was like an 89 broke down Civic for the last 10 years. So let's move on.
I mean, easy on the Civic hate, fellas. Mr.
broke
Saturn
down
Neon over here.
Wow. Saturn was a fine vehicle.
All of our first cars. You guys both own a car. I don't even own a car now.
I don't really technically own one. My wife does. I'm just saying, you guys have been hating on the Civic, and you guys are driving Saturns and Neons. So don't throw stones.
I'm going strawberry picking in Long Island next weekend, and I rented a Civic, Dan. I got no hate.
Good. The new Civics are pretty nice.
Yes, they are
nice. Yeah.
You should get one.
You want to buy me one?
No.
Well, then, yeah.
I bet you could afford it.
I don't know. Kids are expensive, man.
Yeah, they sure are.
Property taxes too.
Property taxes. I don't know, guys. I kept trying to bring us back to the Giants, but you just keep every time I try to go back in, you just keep taking me out.
Well,
but these are the things that are affecting Giants players right now as well. They're faced with their day-to-day life. They have to face their wives and families, pay their taxes, living in New Jersey, most likely.
Yep.
So it's all related.
I really didn't think about it this way, Dan, but you're making a lot of sense to me right now. You know, the off season for this pod should just be how the players feel. So hang out with your kids.
Yeah.
Wonder how you could pay less taxes and then, mow your lawn, right? This is where we
and
all are at this
don't
point.
get too woke, because that's what's going to be the downfall of this country, is everyone getting too woke.
All right, you gonna move to Florida, or you're gonna stay in Jersey, bro?
Yeah, really.
I'm just saying, we have a lot of players that listen. I feel like this kind of discussion is what can make our bond and our chemistry with the team even greater. I know all the new players are probably listening to our pod, so letting them know that we know what they're going through in the off season is something to build upon, right?
I don't even know what happened. Like I thought we had a thing.
I'm just talking about the things that are affecting our world. Muscles.
You want to talk about politics? Let's talk about politics, man.
No.
I don't want to talk about the Giants. Like,
only
the most important things, like how being woke is bad, because that's important.
Well, when you ask Ron DeSantis to define woke, what Ron DeSantis says is acknowledging that disparity exists in the world. So is that really such a bad thing? Like, is saying where Florida goes woke to die, then like you're going to woke? We're acknowledging that people should be treated equally, and Florida is where it goes to die. What are we doing?
I mean, this is why you can't send your kids to public schools, guys.
Oh,
my daughter's going to public school next year.
She's going to turn woke. They're going to turn her woke, man.
Oh no, man. Oh no, this is what I want, though. This is what I want. I would
what? You'd prefer
I'm just saying, like I like as you get older, you get more conservative. But I would prefer my daughter to be like the most liberal person for as long as she can be. But then at some point, you sort of have to like realize that life isn't full of idealism. Life is full of reality.
All right, Billy
deal
Joel.
with that.
You have been drinking today.
Well, you fucking brought this up, Dan.
Oh, hey!
I'm stirring the pot. I'm stirring the pot, baby.
I was asking about OTAs, and now we're cursing at each other.
No, you're cursing at us.
Yeah. He can't handle it. He's a snowflake, dude. Just
right,
TJ the snowflake.
So now I'll bring it back to the Giants. I'm going to say this right now. I've already been thinking about it. The more that I see pictures of OTAs by the day, and I see Jalen Hyatt in that number 84, I want him to stay that number, and he's not going to, and it's going to suck when he changes it. It's going to piss me off.
Okay, quick question. What's the last number you want to see him wearing?
Oh, that is a great question.
What would be the ugliest number on him?
Well, here's the question. What's it's
available?
Teens, 80s, and singles. That's what you can have.
Yeah, and assume he'll try to buy someone out of their number so he can.
I mean, probably. I don't know. I thought 84 was bad, but on him, it's starting to grow on me. So
I think any number will grow on you.
Well, what do you think would be bad?
I don't know.
Like 17? I don't know.
He looks like a 17.
I know, but that's why I like it that he's an 84, because he's not that.
Yeah. So like a thick number wouldn't look good on him, is what you're saying.
You guys are always so obsessed with the numbers. Like, I never understood this throughout our lives. Like, I just don't get it.
The aesthetic of sports is important. Mm-hmm. It's an important aspect of sports.
Do you remember
not
when,
grasped it onto?
We had this friend Andrew from Australia. He came to New York and stayed at my house and was just like begging me for cocaine the whole time, because cocaine in Australia costs like $500. And like we were talking about like how we enjoyed football teams' uniforms, and he was just like calling us all kinds of names. Like, I don't get you care about the fit and the fit and the fit.
He wasn't too woke, was he?
Well, that was before woke was a thing, Dan, I think.
Right.
Also, right. I see what you're doing. Stop egging me on, okay?
I don't know.
But I'm just saying, like, who cares about the number? I just hope Jalen Hyatt can run a whole route tree. That's my whole thing about him.
Don't shut me down. We can't talk about anything else at this point in the offseason. I'm going to talk about his goddamn numbers. How about that?
What about the anonymous scout or coach that was saying he's got attitude issues? Do you see that comment that came out?
Thank you. Like, where does this crap come from? Is it really that they're all in the same spot as we are, that they have nothing else to talk about, so they make this bullshit up? I don't get it.
Yeah,
no, they don't make it up. It's just like one interaction.
Yeah.
And then you judge people on one interaction, and it's like not fair to them. And then because you're in a media centric sort of environment, like that shit needs to be blasted out to everybody all of a sudden.
It's
like, oh, Jalen Hyatt like was tired one morning, didn't really want to talk to me, so he all of a sudden he doesn't have what it takes to be in the NFL.
Exactly.
Nonsense bullshit.
I mean,
I think everything we've heard him say personality wise hasn't rubbed me the wrong way. It's exactly what I want to hear from him.
I love him. I love the guy. I think he's gonna be great. Like, I'm super excited for him to be on the team.
And further, I something that also gives me comfort and in him on the team is I saw a tweet from his father the other day.
Yeah.
Forgot his first name, but he was asking the best place to get a sandwich in Hoboken because he's looking for a real, New Jersey, New York style deli sandwich. So he's asking where the best delis were, and people were steering him in the right direction.
That's the first thing you should be asking him to move to New York is like, where's the pizza? Where's the bagels?
But that was the thing that also I like someone was like, oh, you got to go here for pizza. It's like, yeah, I know pizza's on the list, but I'm looking for a sandwich because I heard they're amazing.
Yeah.
And you're right, dude.
Yeah.
You're going to be pleased.
I went to like a nice pizza place in Dumbo today, and my daughter wanted a slice. We got her a slice, and she ate the entire thing. I never seen her eat her whole slice of pizza, but authentic pizza, Dan. Because you're pretend to be Italian, even though you're American. Just the same way Colin pretends to be Irish, even though he's also American. So you probably know more about Italian cuisine.
My family's newer to the
Colin
country,
but
considerably.
See, yep. Hates immigrants too. We got a bunch of Florida people.
I'm married to an immigrant. I am married to an immigrant.
You guys are.
I do not hate immigrants. Fuck you.
TJ's also saying, I don't care how the jerseys look. I don't care the numbers look. So what they do on the field. Forget how they look. Just deliver. Act like you've been there before. Do your job. Jeez, TJ.
Colin's mad because I'm cursing, but like this episode hasn't gone off the rails already enough for you. Like me saying fuck is like the one thing for you.
Let's keep it going. Let's totally ruin it right now. Let's end it. Let's end this forever. Let's never do it again.
I mean, come on. Don't get too crazy there. We're gonna talk about what I do want to talk about is Chris Sims putting Daniel Jones at number 11 on his quarterback list in the NFL.
That's pretty high.
What do you guys think about that? Where does Daniel Jones land on the top 32 quarterbacks in the NFL for you guys?
I think where I stand. I think he's around 15.
Yeah, that's right.
Somewhere.
11 is too high?
I think 11 is a projection for this year based on the strides he took last year.
Yeah.
So if he continues to progress in the way he did last year and, adds 10 touchdown passes, then for sure.
Yeah.
But sort of the hard stats, the stats that look at how far he actually threw the ball are just not where he needs to be a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah.
His average depth of pass being less than 6 yards.
Dan, let me ask you a question. Do you ever feel like he's judged like a different way than Lamar Jackson might be? And Lamar Jackson's running means more to his stat line than Daniel Jones running means to his. And why do you think that is, Dan?
I think probably because Lamar Jackson's running ability is something that other teams coach around.
I mean, Daniel Jones had 700 yards rushing last year. Like,
yeah, but they were, some of them were designed runs, sure, but he's not. It's also not the same. I mean, Lamar Jackson is an athletic runner.
How is it not the same?
Because Lamar Jackson's a better runner, more dynamic runner, can do different kinds of runs, can break down a defense differently, is more creative, can work outside of, the play. Like Daniel Jones' success last year was getting the ball out really fast, wasn't, creating so much. I feel
wasn't
like
third reads. It wasn't like free balling
exactly.
it out
Thank
there.
you. Yeah. It's just lemons and limes or oranges and apples or something like that.
Hey, can he run?
I mean,
absolutely, but not the same.
For lack of better things to talk about, you guys think that he might take a step forward as a passer as you go into this year with like the new sort of squad we have available to him. I think there's a lot of talent at the pass catching positions at this point as opposed to last year.
I think
so for that and confidence, and if he doesn't, then that's a real problem. But I don't see why he wouldn't progress incrementally, at least.
I mean, it's the second year in the offense, too. You'd have to imagine that they'll try to build on what he was good at last year. Maybe add some wrinkles here and there, especially with the newer people that are surrounding him. Probably do things that they wanted to do last year and just were completely, for a lack of better words, no pun intended, hamstrung by the lack of talent. And I think, I mean, you know what Dable wants to do. He wants to open it up. He probably wants to throw him completely in the fire and say, do this offense, prove that you can either stick around or that we're going to have to look elsewhere after this season or the season after. So I think it's the training wheels are going to be completely off, and he is going to be able to either walk himself off the team or into the history of this franchise. So I think that could be, it's going to be huge. I mean, last year was fun. We can't like forget that it was a fun year. It was a surprising year, went way further than we should have. But I think this year we got to see some consistency. It can't be that, same old Giants from the last 10 years. It's got to take that next step, especially with trying to make it a little more of this hybrid Chiefs, Bills kind of monster that is definitely the goal. The players are here. I think if people stay healthy and he puts it all together, it's gonna be a big step. And yeah, 11 is a little high, but I don't think it's absurdly high either. It's attainable, but he has to continue building with what he did last year. So I agree, Dan.
Yeah, man, I don't disagree. Like, if Daniel Jones doesn't even take like a small step, even just a small step, I think that this brings this offense to like a whole nother level. I think Saquon comes in healthy, always going to be the crutch of this place. But as you're bringing in, Hyatt, Wandale is back, Jamison Crowder, Paris Campbell, who I'm really excited to see, Isaiah Hodgins coming back. So maybe you don't have like this definitive sort of ideal number 1, 2, 3 wideout situation, but like you have a lot of talent on your team and you have a lot of ways to put people out in different positions, like especially bringing in Bellinger and Waller. So I couldn't see why the offense would be better. And I think like the defense as well, moving forward, like, Wink Martindale needs press corners. We got Adoree Jackson. We got, Tay in the first round. And I think, Cordell Flott is a guy who might stand up. What was the guy we got in the 6th round there?
Oh,
Tredair.
Yeah, I forgot their names.
Either way, I think he has potential to come up too. I really hate that people have been hating on the Giants offseason. And I've seen them ranked 29th.
Yeah, what was that?
That
Bill Simmons article is absurd.
Bill Simmons, who's a guy, you might respect as an NFL writer. He's been doing it for a long time, but you can't deny that this team is better. And with this coaching, I think that it really all falls on Daniel Jones' shoulders. Is exactly where it falls.
Wait, Simmons wrote an article?
Well, was it Simmons or was it Barnwell?
Or whatever. He's on a podcast, whatever it was.
Oh,
I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, Barnwell.
It was
Bill Barnwell did a ranking
Whatever
of off-season.
Yeah,
moves.
And he crapped on this. He said he's like,
well, it was mostly derived from the Daniel Jones contract.
Yes,
which is a point of contention, but I don't necessarily think it could be good potentially. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that was factored in. I think it was mostly around that move, and then just sort of filling holes and not,
continuity was a big point of contention here.
By the way, Barnwell's a Giants fan, which he doesn't talk about at all. But in the early days,
how do you know that?
Because I've been reading him for like 15 years.
But let me ask
in the early days, he was a Giants. He was
last year I'd say we're filling holes, but this year I feel like you are bringing in talent, though. No,
sure, no, for sure. But I mean, it's also filling holes because every wide receiver they brought in filled a hole.
Yeah.
Everybody in the secondary they drafted filled a hole.
Bobby,
the linebacker
filled a hole.
Yeah, like everywhere was holes. And I think he also sort of didn't think the Okereke contract was very good based on the other linebacker contracts.
That's like the one thing I've seen maligned in this offseason is that contract. But I feel like that position is becoming more valued in the NFL as tight ends become more athletic. And I think that you need to have a guy who can cover in space at like your off-ball linebacker position. Yeah. So I don't think paying a guy $10 million a year to like cover tight ends, which is something that's killed us in perpetuity, basically.
I think it was
this is a
just
bad
in
thing for this
comparison to
team.
the other linebacker contracts. But what I think is the Giants liked something very specifically about Okereke. Was
Agreed.
probably his leadership and like his mental acuity to like be the leader of the defense right off the bat.
I mean, Tremaine Edwards got paid what did he get paid? Like $13 million a year? I mean,
yeah, not much more. And
like
then
he got paid more. Okereke got paid second, and then like
but what's the other guy?
The guy from the Eagles got paid like trash,
$3 million or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, and not that it matters that much because it's just one day. But speaking of Okereke, I mean, he had 2 passes defended today, and that's not. I don't feel like you've heard those kind of things from a middle linebacker for us in years. And I know that's not game situation or what have you, but it seems that he's done that a bunch in the last couple of years, as well as having over 100 tackles every year for the last 2 seasons. So is he probably a little bit more of an athletic, and by a little bit more, probably a lot more athletic version of Martinez? Probably.
Well, you need a safety at middle linebacker these days in the NFL.
Yeah,
that's what you need. And he fills that. He fills that role. Yeah.
That's kind of, he's right there. Let's see if he can keep it going and build on that too.
I mean, the Giants blitzed more than I think 2 or 3 other teams last year. So I feel like now you have like Tay Banks on the outside, you have Adoree Jackson on the other side, you have like some good cornerback play, you have a good middle linebacker who can sort of cover the tight end possibly, and then just let him rip, man. I love Wink's defense. I think it's going to be positive.
It's funny you should say that with the blitzing. We might even see less blitzing because I think he leaned on it more last year than he wanted to because of the way that the defense was set up and the injuries and all that kind of stuff. I think he was just trying to get in people's faces to cover up a lot of deficiencies in the back. So he might change it up a little bit. Don't get me wrong, it's Wink. He's going to be blitzing like a crazy person, but it might be different. I think, especially with all the down linemen we're getting for in the interior defensive line, I think that's going to change things up too, especially stopping the run. I want to speed forward in this offseason so bad. It's like,
yeah. What's the next thing to look forward to in the offseason? Is there anything other than
we're doing OTAs now, which we sort of like didn't mention specifically, but touched on in a lot of this conversation. But I mean,
training camp starts at the end of July. That's the next marker, and it'll be quick. I mean, it's already June 5th, but I want to get going now, and I want to see some videos. I mean, all these clips that they show now, it's just so vanilla. You get nothing from it. It's funny.
Yeah, there's nothing gained from OTA reports, to be honest.
Actually, one of my favorite things was Giants Life 2, when they were like at the combine and texting Dexter Lawrence or like FaceTiming Dexter Lawrence. And blah, blah, you heard part of that conversation, and then you go to Giants Life number 3 after the draft, and then they go back to the conversation. Joe Chain's like, call your agent. Tell me to get this done.
Yeah.
After they had signed the deal. Like, I found that very fun, and something we could speculate on just in the vein you guys were talking about,
I'm just looking at pictures. I don't know if you guys saw the Giants rookie tour of New York City. It's like, it's adorable. It's great. They're getting pizza. They're eating local. It's nice to see the camaraderie there. Our new center looks like he doesn't look like a football player. It's pretty funny. He looks like just this.
That dude does not belong in New York City. It just looks so weird to me.
It's bizarre. But it's cool. I don't know. I mean, I know this stuff is just so like throwaway, like who cares? But it's like, it's good to see this kind of stuff and imagine, like I said before, the camaraderie building. I mean, that's just so damn big. I was
there today where they were. I was in the exact same place today.
Where they go, Grimaldi's?
No, they were on like the Brooklyn Bridge Park, weren't they?
I meant where'd they get pizza?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Grimaldi's probably. It's right up the street.
Yeah,
which is good.
Yeah, it's
they built a bar right in the middle of that pier. By the way, the Brooklyn Bridge Park. There's just a bar, like square bar. It was like the first time I ever saw it, and we go down there a lot too. I'm just like, what a great idea that was. Can I work there?
Do you want to?
You're not hot enough.
You must clean up. You must clean up. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I'm like the best of all time at bartending.
Yeah,
the best.
I do. We actually do know that.
So like if you put me on the pier by myself, I'm just like going all day.
You need to get on Daniel Bellinger's bicep plan to work that.
Oh,
bar.
yes, I do. Yes, yeah. I would need I need a little help. Little biceps. Maybe Daniel Bellinger could be my bar back.
My question is, how do you work liquid into muscle?
You just pump it, Colin. You pump and pump and pump for as long as you can, and eventually things just work out for you.
And when you think you can't pump it anymore,
you
more. Keep pumping it.
Keep doing it. Yep.
Yeah.
You might not be strong physically, but as long as you're
pumped.
strong mentally, you can succeed. If you put your mind to it, anything is possible.
And you can think for yourself and do your own research.
Yeah, that's the most important thing is do your own research. If you have your own ideas, you haven't done enough research yet about them.
I think that's
somebody else is going to tell you didn't figure it out yet. Yeah. Dan, you got to stop doing this because I can go on forever. Dan, I love you got in the middle of the episode is like just totally me like shitting on Ron DeSantis and cursing, and you like got me really bad. And it's great. I love it. Colin is upset right now, but
that's what I listen to.
I'm not upset at all. No one's listening to this either. I mean, I'll hear it from my mother later this week. Oh, well, what was with TJ?
Guys, watch our numbers spike.
This might be a new podcast we're doing.
Yeah,
I don't give it. I don't care. Colin,
American politics through the lens of the New York Giants.
I was saying the F word. Colin's face when I said the F word 4 times in a row, he was just looking at me. He's like, TJ, why are you doing this?
One is
why
fine.
are you doing this to our precious podcast that we work so hard to build? And really, when he says that, like,
he's got a point.
We used to have a shitload of listeners, and we don't have so much anymore. And I wonder why.
I wonder why too.
All right. Well,
we don't
on that
curse
point,
enough.
guys, I feel like thanks for fucking listening tonight. This is a Big Blue United podcast. My name's TJ, Colin, and Dan. You can follow us at Big Blue United BBU Pod Boys with a Z on Twitter, Big Blue United on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and don't forget to get them at StitchFix.com. That shit is fucking great. You guys have a good night.